This is Risk of Rain 2, a fantastic game where you the player commits mass carnage on defenseless monsters in their natural habitat, whilst looting their corpses for more power to annihilate the rest of their family tree. Normally the game consists of killing these monsters for money and then spending that said money on loot boxes around each stage for more gear, but we eliminated the middleman with artifacts. Artifacts that cause monsters to drop loot instead, and then to spice things up we also doubled the amount of monsters to stack an even higher kill count and snag even more juicy loot. Lastly, I added the most powerful artifact of them all. The artifact that allows me to choose which item I get every single time an item drops, because there is no way in hell I'm depending on RNG to get 500 personal shield generators and 200 infusions. I just don't have that kind of time, people. Now normally 10,000 EHP will be enough to tank any hit in the game, so why get 100 times that amount? Because I can. The real question is, how do you get that much energy shield? And it boils down to some simple math I'm sure a second grader could do. Now generators give us 8% of our life as extra energy shield. Because this is a percentage of our life, the bigger our life pool is, the more energy shield we will get per generator. This is why we also stack infusions to get our life total higher, which in turn makes each generator give us more energy shield. To put this into perspective, with no infusions and 2000 HP, the generator would give us 160 energy shield. But if we have 180 infusions, which would take our HP total of 20,000, each generator would give us 1600 energy shield, a factor of 10 times more efficient than the previous amount. And to top it all off, if we get a permanent uptime on Spinal Tonic, we can multiply our ES by a factor of 1.5, thus making us only have to stack to around 700,000 to then get multiplied up to 1 million. It's clear we had a plan that mapped our way to 1 million energy shield. But to quote my favorite author, Brandon Sanderson, journey before destination. Now what was the journey? This journey was hard for the first couple stages, but once I got Gesture of the Overpowered, the run was basically a walk in the park from there on out. I essentially would pick my favorite flavor of equipment to spam, first starting out with the auto-aim rockets for some no-effort stage clearing, and then next on to becoming a wannabe Herald of Thunder auto-bomber in Risk of Rain 2, which eventually began to make my eyes bleed from the bright flashes, and I switched to the Sommering, which I am not so sure was actually an improvement visually, as for most of the time I had absolutely no idea what was going on around me. But it still was easier on the eyes than the bright flashes, and it deleted all the content, so I kept going with it. I would play like this, constantly grabbing infusions and generators. Watching the numbers rise kept me going. It was getting boring as I repetitively did the same thing over and over again, but the goal of 1 million energy shield kept my dreams alive. Finally, I reached an acceptable amount of infusions, and I knew it was time to make the switch out of infusions. You see, in Risk of Rain 2, whether this is a bug or not, when you mass trade in your infusions for a junk load of powerful red items, your life total won't be lost. The life total stays at what it was even though you lost the infusions. This also works with Transcendence, a lunar item which converts your life to energy shield. You would think now that you have 1 life, that the generators, which supposedly give percentage based on your life, would become obsolete. But au contraire, my friend, the generators also remember how much life you had before Transcendence turned your life total to 1. So before the life total was 20,000 plus, and the generators still give 1600 plus energy shield based on that previous life total, even though now you only have 1 life. These factors combined allowed me to take my 200 green item investment into defenses and turn them into 40 red offensive power items, while still retaining the defenses granted from the green items. Is this a bug? Maybe. But is it also the best trade deal ever? Abso-freaking-lutely, my friend. With these newfound upgrades, I only had to acquire a Spinal Tonic and get a few filler green items, and I would complete my metamorphosis into greatness. Once I was able to acquire the tonic, my ES was multiplied by 1.5, and I had reached my goal of 1 million energy shield. The power this character had was on another level, but I still felt empty inside. I tried to console myself by eliminating the shopkeep, but even after all the times he had kicked me out for rabble-rousing, I still didn't feel any grand satisfaction from defeating him. I knew, like all my Risk of Rain 2 characters, that the time had come. I had become a god in this world, and no mortal could challenge me. The thrill of war had faded because there was no doubt, or even a chance of failure. The time had come for me to obliterate myself and leave this world behind. As always, thanks for watching, everybody. Have an excellent day, my friends.